Well, I don't know what happened there, but I'm back on a new stream. Well, I don't know what happened there, but lost signal. Said something about repairing files, so I guess that had something to do with my my memory card in there. Seems like that happens every time I go out. I think it's a YouTube conspiracy. Well, the front edge where that wind was blowing into this thing seemed to be doing better than this backside. Gave me an opportunity to get out of that jacket. I'll make a little bit shallower pass. See if there's a few fish sitting up on top of this thing that I didn't get a hold of last go round. Then we'll go shoot across and try that other hump. I've had some pretty decent luck on that other one. Today is the most fish I've ever caught on this one in one go round. Get one back. When that big girl will show up. Well, those of you that came back, I appreciate you stopping in. Doing a little jerk bait out on this hump. Working a little Mega Bass 110 Junior. Caught a couple of fish on it already out here. This morning was pretty good. Got some really good fish on a spinnerbait early this morning. Well, like 9 o'clock. And then we just been trying to see if I could duplicate what I did this morning in a couple of places, and caught a few little smaller fish doing it, but not the big girls like what I mean. That 613 is the biggest bass I've caught this year so far. See if we can get us another jerkbait fish up here. Had 3 or 4 bites down through there, so figure I'd make one more pass up through here just a little bit shallower and see if we get another bite. So far it's a resounding no. Well, most of these fish were over here on this top side. The sun's trying to come out now, huh? Oh, the sweet smell of two-stroke out there. Well, I figure I get another bite right through here. Guess not. couple casts out here, and then a couple more casts, and then we'll go try the other side over there. We'll try that other hump, see if there's anything doing on it, and then we'll go back and hit some of that grass, I think. Make another cast right there and see if there's anything on this other little hump. And then I got another little hard bottom point, kind of a weird little hard bottom point area we could check. Well, hiya. All right, let's make a quick move. I'm just gonna crank up and I ain't gonna pull my trolling motor. I'm just gonna crank up and ease across. Oh good, I hear a jet ski. Get a quick bite of biscuit while I'm making my way over there. All right. Kind of. I think I can see about where I need to be casting out there. I've caught some good ones off this hump, but it's got a lot of gorilla snot up on top of it, and it can be tricky sometimes being able to get your bait to the right place without getting hung up in the gorilla snot. Shouldn't be too bad right now since the water is starting to come up a little bit. Maybe we can get a couple right on top of that thing. Used to be a couple of little logs that were off the edge of this thing too that you catch some fish off of, but I'm not sure if they're still there or not. Thought there might be a little grass off the edge, but I'm not seeing any of it yet. Oh, that fish thunked it right when I stopped it. He wasn't real far out there either. Let him kind of, I don't know, bring him in all green. Because he will try to put a hook in me almost certainly. There we go. Ooh, he's been caught before. Wow. Wow. That hook wedged in there kind of weird. He's got an old gap in his mouth to where, there we go. That didn't feel too good, I bet. All right. There we go. Little guy there. Ooh. Blowing pretty good waves there. Fish hit it on a little bit longer pause than what I do this time of year. Just got it kind of close to the boat and just paused for a second looking around, and he thunked it. Turned out to be a nice day. Wish we'd have kept that cloud cover though. Clouds were making it nice for fishing. Keeping the temperature down, and just I think it's just they just make fishing better most of the time. Seems like there's anything hanging out on top of that thing. And no grass really. I'm not seeing any grass growing over here. Sometimes there's some that grows up on this, and it never hurts anything. Get a little grass growing on something, never ever hurts. Oh, there he is. Feels like a decent one. Yeah, decent fish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, decent one. Oh yeah. Got a good jump on that one. See if we can get another jump out over here. Probably around 3 or so. Alright, just hooked on the outside of the face, so when she dives, I'm just kind of letting her dive and then pulling her up. Yeah, oh man, that's a pretty fish. Alright. Alright, give us one more jump and then be done. Alright, there we go. There we go. Hey. Look at that pretty, man, that fish has good color on it. Nice colored bass, probably about 3-pounder, all rubbed out on the tail. Spawned out and feeding up. This was kind of on the back side of that point, or that hump rather, too. Kind of a little bit of a, I wasn't really expecting to get a bite there, but I did. Well, we're all locked up here. I'm gonna make a few more casts around. One of those little sneaky spots a lot of people don't check. They come out and they fish the deep side of a hump or something, and then they come out real hard, make a few casts, and then they leave and they don't check the whole thing. And this is, sometimes you can get them on the back side too. You just got, you never know where they're actually going to be. You got to kind of probe around and just see what transpires. Alright, I'm gonna zip over here to the bank, check some stuff out, get this gorilla snot off my bait. Oh yeah, they like the cooler days. What's going on? What's going on, engineer dad? What's going on, Wendy? They seem to be liking the cool days today. I've been catching some good ones. This is a little shallow spawning pocket that Don't know how good it'll be this year since since there hasn't been any water in it. But we're gonna work out here. Kind of has a little shallow point, so a little flat point that comes out, and sometimes some grass grows on it. We'll see if we can find anything on that. Ooh, getting in here a little close. It's kind of making a quick run over this spot. I don't know. I don't see anything that looks fishy. We're just gonna move on. Another boat sitting in the back of that pocket where I caught all those good ones this morning. I was hoping to maybe go back in there and try that again because that was pretty fun. Fishing that spinnerbait over that shallow stuff. Alright, starting to see a little bit of milfoil show up. We'll kind of keep it out off this brake line a little bit and see if anything's hanging around. See if we can see some other grass that might be growing out here somewhere. Oh heck no, it's definitely not K-Bay. Took me a second to figure out who you were. No, I'm just out here just doing a little fishing on Lake Chickamauga, man. Oh man, nothing, not seeing anything, nothing that looks promising right here so far. Let's see what we got. All right, we got a little bit of grass right here. I just saw one just kind of come up and bust something there, so reeled in real quick, see if he'd come and bust mine, but he didn't. Ooh, it's shallow in here. There's some grass usually grows up in the back of this pocket. I'm seeing some of it off the bank, but I'm not getting any bites. This one, this pocket over here doesn't have as much wind as those other ones I was fishing this morning. So, well, not until we get up there, and that's where I think better areas usually are anyway. Let's see what we got. Thanks, man. Our temperature is almost 75 back in here. Starting to heat up a little bit now. We got a little sunshine creeping in. All right. Okay. Said check something out there. So we'll get a little bit of color back in here. So that's good. I'm gonna probably pick a spinnerbait up here in just a few minutes. I'm just messing around with this jerkbait for a minute, just seeing if anything wants to come up and slap at it. Fished over the top of some of this shallower grass. We've got a little bit of depth up here. I've been having better luck on the spinnerbait when the grass is pretty close to the surface. Seen a few little garfish in here. All right. Make a few casts. A little short cast right out in here, and as we work back, there's grass that grows up all out in the middle of this thing, so I'm just kind of going over it with this jerkbait for the time. Ooh, I think I see a good line now. Is that a line or no? That's just a cloud. That's just clouds. I saw a grass line, but it was just clouds making it look like it. That's a bummer. Not really seeing a whole. Well, we got a little bit in this pocket. We'll go over here and mess around with that spinnerbait here in just a second. Actually, we may throw a buzzbait. Try a buzzbait for a little bit. Hey, what's going on, Alan? Yeah, caught a 613 this morning on a spinnerbait, and caught a few good ones on a jerkbait and a spinnerbait. That's been the main deal. That bunch of shallow grass. They're big churning it up, and it was kind of. And they were just, and the wind's blowing straight into it, and it was just a good place. It was only a couple of feet deep, but water's coming up, and the fish seem like they're kind of a little bit, or if they were, I don't know if they've already been there, but there's a little shad spawn going on more too. So we can catch fish this morning. Spinnerbait in the grass have been the main deal. Caught a few out on some humps out there on a jerkbait a few minutes ago. One of them was probably close to 3. It's been decent. Certainly can't complain when you're putting one 6-pounder in the boat. Had a little service interruption though, so had to start up the stream again. I'd like to see a fish or two come up and blast this buzzbait. I had one this morning that looked like it was a really good fish come up and get it, and just didn't hook up. And then haven't been fishing it a whole lot. I've been alternating between spinner baits, but now the sun's coming out a little bit. I'll just give it another shot. There's just grass all out in here, so you never know where they're going to be. And when it's like this, I like to throw something I can just move relatively quickly and cover water with. Oh, I think I'm gonna go back to that spinner bait. Not really seeing the same conditions I was seeing in that other place with where the grass is the right height grass for what I want to do. But go ahead and just cast it around, see if something decides it's interested. Looks like it's a good color. Looks like the watercolor in here is all right for this. It's a little bit clearer than what I like, but we'll, yeah, try it out. Coming into some grass up here. Starting to see it's that dirty water intermingling with that green grass, where it just got those little dark spots among all that dirty water. That's what I like right there. See if there's any fish in here liking that. I'm gonna go back in here where there's a little creek channel coming out. There's a lot of spotty grass in here. It just looks like a good place for fish to be hanging around and hiding out. Not seeing any evidence of it, but it looks like it should be good. No evidence to though. Come on. Come on, geese. Go somewhere else. There'll be fish all up in this stuff. There's lots of good looking grass right underneath the water. Good holes in it. Right now we're getting the stuff that's right up on the surface. Put the trolling motor up a little bit. That'll be good. All right. Oh. There's a little inside grass line. This stuff right that I'm fishing right now is like basically topped out. Just right underneath the surface. And there's a little inside grass line right up there in the shallow stuff, but I'm gonna press on through here where there's a little creek channel area and see if there's anything holding in this. Ooh, it's ultra shallow over here. I need to get oops. I need to get out of here. This is too shallow for me, I think. Maybe not. It's hard to tell. Yeah, it's just about a foot deep. We're going to be having that same issue we were having earlier with just kicking up mud everywhere. But I thought I'd give it a shot, see if there's anything trying to hide out back here. Short answer is no. Try to fish this inside grass line a little bit, see if anything's sneaking around over there in that real skinny water. There he is. Yep. Inside grass line. I gotta get him over all this grass. Alright. There we go. Some shallow stuff over there. Little guy came out there and popped it. Alright, there we go. Well, let's keep trying that for a little bit. It's I mean, it's basically no water over there, so it's kind of a weird deal if we get another one. Just gonna keep the boat moving, but it's just all that is just a spot where the grass, it's too shallow for the grass to grow before it hits the bank. And they like to get up against that, I guess. This right through here looks really good, but I already tried some of that and didn't get any bites, so. Doing this, you gotta get on them when they get it, because they'll get you bogged down in this grass. Casting into the clearing, working it into the grass. Probably just a fluke, but pretty neat. Man, that wind's whipping today. little gar right there. See if I can get him to hit. Oh, no, I hit him. He didn't hit me, I hit him. I'm gonna run out of grass over here. A couple of little beef patches right over there. Ooh. A little shallow patch of grass. Ooh. Well, fish up in here just a little bit, and then we can go back over to the other side where I was catching fish this morning and give that a solid try, and then that'll probably be it for the day. Hopefully those fish are still in there making a ruckus, and still some shad skipping around in there. Oh man. We got a bunch of grass growing in the back of this one too. It'll be a good grass year. I've been said that 8 or 10 times a day, and it's already a good grass year as far as I'm concerned. I've already caught a couple over 6. Take a 6-pound bass all day. Ooh. Interesting looking little spot right there. Looks like there'll be something holed up. Oh, I missed. Someone come up and bust something, and I didn't get him. Yeah, behind me caught one. Now it's my turn. Where's mine? Here's my little dinky-doo fish. Whew. Well, get around this guy a little bit. I'm gonna crank up and ease back in that other pocket where I was catching them this morning and see if we can finish up strong. Ooh, it's a nice day out here. All right. All right, let's get on over. Let's get on over there. So I bet those 6-pound smallmouth are way better than the 6-pound largemouth. They jump sky high in the air and dog down on you. I eat me a little lunch here. Somebody laying on a paddleboard getting sun back here. All right, see if we can make any more magic happen today, or if we're done. Somebody just laying on a paddleboard out there. Go down. Good. There. Right. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Away into that dirtiest water, and then we'll just kind of zigzag around back there. Maybe we'll grab one. Maybe we'll get one on our way in. Not seeing those carp swirling around all over the place in there anymore. I see a beaver. Yeah, got a beaver swirling around out there. Okay. All right, we're in the good grass now. Let the bass catching begin, hopefully. Maybe they're not quite as maybe they'll be a little bit more, a little easier to bite than they were this morning because of that, all those carp sloshing around in here. We got some good ones. Couldn't believe there was a big one like that in all this though, and that it was the first one I caught. That's what was shocking to me. Of course, if I hadn't caught that big one, if I just caught a couple of small ones, I might have just gone on out. Okay. this good dirty water, maybe we can get us another big bass bite out of here. Got all this good grass. Trying to be a little bit more thorough right now since I'm not getting blown away like I was this morning. Those carp aren't in here churning it up so bad. I can see a little bit better than I could this morning. Of course, I can just see it, being able to see it, and get that grass off there. And that bait float over the top of that grass. As much as I can anyway. Sometimes it doesn't work out. These guys are they don't even have the trolling motor down. They're gonna come in here and just, I don't know what they're doing, but crank up and then gurgle out. Oh my gosh, that guy's dumb. Okay. He doesn't seem to know you can just raise it up and leave it down, leave the motor down. Yeah, this carp made it dirty up in here this morning. Ooh, still pretty dirty. Trying to hit some of these clumps that are a little bit further out than in some of this dirtier water. Maybe something will come out here and crush. So far, nothing is crushing. I mean, it wasn't an easy deal this morning either. It was a little bit of a grind, but we were getting some fairly regular bites. So we lost our shade. It's a little later in the day. So sometimes there's been a couple other boats gone through here. Could have got them all stirred up. I'm just going to drift back through here and just kind of have a nice little drift and cast session. Just saturate as much of this as I can, see if anything shows up. I mean, that's a lot of dirty water in here, so they could be anywhere. A few gar back in here trying to spawn too. I see a couple of them just went by. Every cast just looks like you should catch a good one. And fishing this kind of stuff, this grass just honestly, it does look a little bit too clear for a spinnerbait, but maybe I'll put something else on the way out and we'll try a little swim jig or something on the way out, see if I can get bites on that thing. So much stuff back in here. It looks so good, like fish should just be hanging right in it. Oh, there goes some of those carp out there again, wallowing around. About to run up on a stump, so I gotta make a move here. It's a big old stump. Okay. All right, let me put that little. All right, I'm gonna try a little swim jig for a few minutes. This water condition just. Let me. This one's a 3/8 ounce. I think I'm gonna have to reel it too fast. Let me see. Yeah, I want a little bit smaller. I want a smaller head. We're gonna have to reel it quite so fast. So I might have to rig something up here. I'm just gonna take that. I'm just gonna take this trailer and skirt off of this one and put it on this other head. This little shag colored skirt. Push it up on there. Using a Z-Crawl trailer. I don't know if that's the best thing to do, but I've caught fish using that, so I'm gonna. Works for me. You got something else? What do we got? Sorry, what's up, chemistry? Yeah, I probably caught 20 today since I've been out here, and then biggest one was a 613 bass. No stealth. This is a Bass Cat Felix, PHELIX. Super cool little boat. I'll do a video on it one of these days, but I just haven't got to it yet. But you can find them on. You can look it up on the internet and find some pictures if you want to see some other pictures of it. It's just a little. It's kind of a little hybrid skiff. I don't know, skiff deck boat deal. I don't even know what to call it. All right, let's Let's try this little swim jig out here. Maybe it'll come through the grass a little. Ooh, spooked something there. Got some. Got lots of little mud clouds all over the place out here. Oh yeah. That's some gar. Probably what it is, just a bunch of gar. I'm changing baits. I was using a spinner bait. Now I'm trying to swim jig. It's a little bit more subtle. Doesn't have all that flash and vibration. It just kind of comes through the water, and if they see it and want it, they'll get it. There were some fish in here this morning, I can tell you that. So they're still here. They're definitely still here. Just whether or not they want to bite. These guys over there, they're doing some weird stuff. They don't leave their trolling motor in the water. They position and then they drift, and then they hold it up to reposition instead of just lifting the trolling motor up a little bit and like what I'm doing, where I just raised up the overall height. They're just dropping the trolling motor. They're deploying and redeploying the trolling motor every time they move, which to me seems silly, but that's how they're doing it, I guess. More power to them. I'm gonna do it my way, they can do it theirs. So if they're not making too much noise. Doesn't take much to turn shallow fish off, in my experience. Get one and just pop that thing. Nothing. Yeah, it's making a hell of a racket over there. Meanwhile, I'm over here nice and stealthy. Not helping me catch any more fish, but I am being nice and stealthy. You lost me there, Ghetto. Some good looking stuff right there here. That all looks good. All right. We'll kind of work down through here all the way back to the back of this thing, then turn around and pick up the spinner bait again and work our way out, and that'll probably be it for the day. I'm seeing a little bit of bait fish activity up in here. I think I had a gar on it there. All right. Back's a little stiff. Kapow. Yeah, I've got one tied on. It's not a mag draft. It's a Zim swimmer. But they've been, I mean, the shad are really small right now, and they've been spawning, and that's what I've been seeing them feed on and everything. So, I mean, I could. The only problem with that too is this water is just dirty in here, and I just don't think that'll do. do as good as like a spinnerbait or a swim jig, but I might try it on the way out. It does come through the grass good. Of course, there are big fish in here, so it might do it. I don't know. Might give it a try right in here until I get to the really dingy stuff. I mean, it's only thing is it's like, you know, 2 feet deep in here. I don't like trying to find a needle in a haystack too. You gotta fish that a little bit slower than you have to fish these things, so. Kapow, nothing. All right, let's turn around. I'll give that swimmer a try. That's as good as swim bait, as good as anything else. I've already got one tied on, so why not? It's probably not the right color, but this stuff's so thick. If I start eating up some milfoil, I'm gonna have to change it. Well, maybe I'll get a big bite on it in the meantime, who knows? They do come through the cover good, which I've always liked. Well, Fish are showing me no love through here right now, folks. Alright, now we're getting in that water that's too muddy for this. Go back to our little spinnerbait for a minute. All this muddy water is 100% from carp. I've been watching them in here all morning. Just stirring everything up. And they were in here making a big old ruckus first thing this morning. If we can get one more before we move on. Just one more. Shut down. You fish, you gotta adapt. All like gotta really. tough on us, didn't it? Let's see. No bites. Fish have just got the lock jaw. Fish our way out of here, and then we'll maybe try one more spot and call it a day. Well, ooh, it's windy out here too. Maybe they moved out here where it's a little bit deeper. Oh, there was something. Something like a little gar or something, maybe. Alright, let's make a move. I got one more place I want to try. Haven't fished today. And we'll see if there's anything going on over there. Yeah, it's been a weird spring. But it's been a weird because of the lack of rain. And then we had a little bit last night and it got all cold, and this is what post frontal is supposed to look like. This morning it was still cloudy, so I'm not sure that front was still going through or what was going on there. We're going to just a little point that comes out under the water here. And check it out, see if anything's doing. Usually better for crankbaits and Carolina rigs and stuff like that, but I just don't want to mess with that right now. Jerkbait tied on. I'm gonna do that, and then we'll go up in there just a little bit and see if there's any grass growing up in there that can probe on a little bit, and then we may work up the bank and see if there's anything up through that bank. It's just a good hard bottom bank that's fairly shallow. I'm just going to kind of drift in there, and I'll be a little bit off of the main juice of this, so that's good. I'll drift in, make some casts across it, see if there's any good grass growing or anything, and I can see some grass up in there shallow. Fish some of that and then fish my way out. Maybe we'll hit one in the head. There he is. We got him. Oh, he got off. Little guy. Well, we'll make another cast in there, see if we can get another one. Maybe we can get one in. Be a good spot to pull up on and catch a 3. We'll just go ahead and let it keep on drifting. Come up there and grab it. That's something. Take my phone out so I can see if anybody's trying to chat with me. Oh yeah, bass lures. Sorry, I'm just seeing that, but yeah, it's always better to be out. What is that? How in the world did I get hung up? Yeah, it's always better to be out on the lake than, at work or somewhere. And it's a really nice day. And they haven't been too lockjawed for me today. I've been catching some fish. Trying to figure out what's on the bottom here. I mean, I know there's some rocks and stuff down there, but I didn't think my bait would get down deep enough to even get close to them. have to get my stick out. Yeah, I think so. I use these fancy baits and they cost a lot of money, so I gotta get it. Oh, came off. Good. Thing was down there. All right, while I'm here, let's push this thing across this grass flat. Aha, we got one. All right, little guy. There we go. All right, no hooks in the hand, buddy. No hooks in the hand. All right, we got you. Yeah, he poked me, even though I had that lure right in my hand. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. All right. Put that little guy back. It's all right, I bleeded him too. Let's fish across this point a little bit more. Oh yeah. What's up, Detox? This is a Megabass 110 Junior, or a Vision 110 Junior in the Pro Blue color. Using it on an 8-pound line and a little 6'8" light action rod. An 8-pound line. If I didn't say that. Just working it. There's a little underwater point right here. Got some rock on it. Just working it over the top of that. Just working it pretty fast. Really ripping that jerk bait. Trying to get those reaction strikes. Oh yeah, the Boga grips are awesome, man. I had a pair and then I did something stupid. I caught a bowfin down in Florida and I had my hand over the water and it slipped out of my hand and went down in the water with the bowfin. I couldn't get them back. Like $150 just gone. I got in here a little close on this point, but I don't care because I'm just kind of drifting back towards that grass. I can't make myself buy another pair of those just yet. And I had a long-handled hook remover deal, and a couple of weeks ago I dropped it in the water. So I'm out of luck. I'm gonna have to do something. I'm going to Florida next Saturday, and I'm gonna have to do something before I go down there, because those fish down there sure enough put a hook in you. I don't even use treble hooks down there, but just some of those fish just are toothy critters, and some of them are they're just mean. Even a little mangrove snapper will draw some blood on you down there. Man, just two little babies, huh? Oh, I'm over by Chester Frost. Now I don't want any of those cheap Temu Boga grips. I want the real thing, because I've had the real thing, and the real thing is for real. It doesn't rust. It's got an awesome scale on it that goes up to like 50 pounds, or might be 30. It was 30 or 50. I think it's 30 pounds. Got a scale that goes up to 30 pounds that's actually accurate. And they hold great. Those Temu ones are, I don't want any of that Chinese made junk. I want some made in America junk. Alright. Scoot on over here to this other bank. We'll work up this bank and then probably call it a day. I got probably a 500-yard stretch here. We'll work real quick and see if there's any grass growing over here. Last couple of years they've been poisoning it off, but gonna kind of keep the boat moving while I go through here until I have I caught my fish today? I've caught them on spinnerbait and a jerk bait. This morning I caught most of them on spinner baits around shallow grass. There was a shad spawn going on. And the bass are they're just getting in the grass, so they're post spawn. That's what they do on this lake. They go in the grass. I don't know about any free bogus, and then been trying a couple little offshore spots and fishing this jerk bait around it, and had a couple of bites. Caught one about 3 on it off of a little hump over there. All right. There's kind of a little indention back here, a little back pocket. There's no grass. Is there grass? There might be a little bit of grass growing back here. Oh, what just happened? Oh, we got some nasty line twist going on. That's not good. There we go. New way after that. Not seeing any grass. All right, I see some stuff growing out in here, so we're gonna, I think I see some stuff growing. I see something. Slow it down and work through here. There used to be a lot of really good grass that grew right through here. See if we see anything. That's a new dock. Got it squeezed in here with all the other ones that are squeezed in here. Not seeing much growing over here today. There's a little ditch that comes out right in there though. See if maybe we'll get a bite right there. Looks like there's a little muddy water coming out of that ditch too. And then there's a couple of new docks out here. I think that one's right in my little spot where there's some other grass that grows. Throw this guy right on that mud line, see if anything's hanging out. Right out here, there's a little sneaky point. Sometimes has some grass on it. Yeah, there's a little bit of grass on it right out there. Just there's grass, and they're the best. in this case it does. Little baby guy off. All right, folks. I think we're trying to decide if I want to try one more little spot or not out here. Guess we could. Crank and go one more spot and we'll probably a little bypass over there. Cool. Another big old hump out here in the middle of the lake. We're just gonna balance. Just gonna slap around this jerk bait out here and see what happens. Hopefully that's playing on us. Got one on the first cast. How about that? Got one on the first cast up here. Full disclosure, I have never fished here but one other time and I didn't catch fish. So little guy. There we go. Uh-oh. There we go. Little guy. Drop her back in. He's up there shallow too. I can see bottom. Alright. Pulled up, catch a fish. Just that easy for everybody, right? I really wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to go all the way around this thing and not get a bite. One thing I do know is that I will get swamped by many a ski boat going by. This is a high traffic area right here. Ooh, as far as clear out here, man. I don't know if I've ever seen it this clear this time of year. What kind of boat is this? This is a, you say, were you asking about boat or bait? If you're asking about the bait, it's a Megabass Vision 110 Junior in Pro Blue. If you're asking about boat, this is it's called a Bass Cat Felix. It's a 17-foot fiberglass. I don't know what you call it. It's kind of a little hybrid skiff runabout type deal. When I bought it, it was just a boat motor with a little hand control trolling motor on. There's another one. It's a little hand control trolling motor, and I did all this rigging myself. Everything you see. There we go. I got you. There we go, little guy. I did all the rigging on it myself, all the wiring and fish finders and all that stuff. It didn't have no ports for wiring. It was just a boat motor and a trolling motor. And I think the trolling motor might have been wired straight in or had a little dinky plug on it. But I've been real happy with it since I got it the way I wanted it. Kind of a hard to find boat. They quit making them in 2020. I think this is a 2016. It's in real good shape. One problem is it's white, so that floor gets nasty quick. I tried to find, they make a gray one. I tried to find a gray one, but I couldn't find one that was in good enough shape for me. I don't know if that's bottom or if that's just a mud line. There might just be a little mud line coming through there. Well, got a couple little bites down here. Two more than what I thought it. Well, three more. Oh, that fish right there might have some weight on it. Yeah, that's a good fish right there. 2.5, 3 pounder. I'd say closer to the 3 pound side. There we go. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Some nice bass right there. Just turn her on around and ooh, that one's all right. Oh, yeah. There we go. Nice one. It's a good way to end the day right there. Get one of those. We're gonna fish around a little bit more, but that's a good one. All right. Yep, no problem, Bass Man. All right, just pull up on a little hump here and just catch a few goodies on jerkbait. That's fun. Popped it good too. Fish are definitely in post spawn, man. That's the no doubt about it in my mind. Oh, one. It came felt like it had a little weight on it, or it might have been hooked sideways, but we got a little deal going on here, huh? Coming up hitting that jerkbait. Been doing it over at on the other side of the lake on the Harrison Bay side, and they'll hit it over here too, I guess.